Breaking news just in the past few minutes, Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to overturn a ruling in Colorado and ensure that he can appear on the ballot there and across the country. It was expected that Trump would take this case to the Supreme Court, but it sets the stage for a huge legal battle that could shape the 2024 election. Under the Colorado decision, the ex-president's name will remain on the primary ballot there until the Supreme Court decides to take action. The justices are expected to take up the case. As the Washington Post notes, quote, the Colorado case is just one of several novel and significant questions before the U.S. Supreme Court that have the potential to dramatically impact next year's presidential election. They add, without a ruling from the nation's high court, some states could allow Trump on the ballot, while others bar him from it.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and a shocking 4-3 decision by the Colorado Supreme Court in December allowed the state to remove Donald Trump from the ballot. The ruling showed Trump to be ineligible to run in 2024 per the 14th Amendment, Section 3 of the United States Constitution. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment prohibits a person who has sworn an oath to support the Constitution that later engages in insurrection against it from ever holding federal or state office again. After the Colorado Supreme Court's disqualification of the Mango Mussolini, the same justices were subjected to violent threats on social media. Colorado's Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, has received over 60 death threats since the ruling. Donald Trump is guilty of everything that he's been charged with. He's facing prison and is only running for president again because he thinks that it will help him escape justice if he's elected. His team filed an appeal in Colorado and is trying to get the case settled in front of the United States Supreme Court. Colorado Republicans want the U.S. Supreme Court to expedite a ruling in the matter since the GOP will have to choose a candidate in March for the primary. The Colorado GOP are running out of time and getting desperate. The Supreme Court is under pressure to determine if Donald Trump can be disqualified from the state's ballot. The ruling could absolutely effectively squash any other states from removing Donald Trump from the ballots. MAGA morons in Colorado have been scrambling, trying to legally maneuver their way back onto the state's ballot. They have remained defiant and have grown increasingly hostile as they ferment in humiliation. The fact of the matter is that Donald Trump broke the law. He is a criminal that should be in prison for selling out the country that he claims to love so much. Donald Trump is a con man and a liar. He relates to his base on a third-grade level, and they understand him. It's unclear at this point whether the U.S. Supreme Court will take Donald's case or not. What he wants is a decision that would dismiss every state's rights to benefit him. Donald never stops being a cheater. Remember when he tried to elude responsibility for the country's response to the coronavirus? He put the responsibility on the states. He said at the time that the federal government is not supposed to be out there buying vast amounts of items and then shipping them. You know, we're not a shipping clerk. He was talking about materials for COVID testing and contact tracing. Now he wants to flip-flop and say that the states should not be in charge of making their own decisions. He thinks that Congress should do that. Donald Trump is a desperate individual, and his legal team is grasping at straws. Will the U.S. Supreme Court overturn the Colorado court's disqualification of Trump, or will they allow the states to make their own decisions? Donald Trump wants to strip away states' rights to benefit him, and that's wrong. He needs to be removed from the ballot and put in jail, where he belongs, and that is an absolute fact.